Hello everyone, this is Recap Revelations. Today we're entering the fascinating world of the film The Hunt. Warning, fresh spoilers ahead. Hold on tight, keep an eye out for the exciting adventure, and enjoy the ride. The film begins with a harsh conversation between a group of wealthy millionaires in which an expectation of executing 12 people at an undisclosed estate emerges, followed by a caution not to discuss the topic. Following a delightful chat, a flight attendant presents champagne to a wealthy man, pours it, and is scared by the forward look. Randy, one of the victims, woke up before the coma's planned time and was amazed by what was happening. Ted, a staff member who impersonates a doctor, reassures him but stabs him in the neck. Randy punches Ted hard and attacks the crew, causing a terrible disturbance despite losing blood from the neck. An anonymous woman wakes up and sneaks up behind Randy's back with a sharp, high-heeled shoe. He turns to her, and she attacks him with the heel in his eye. The woman pulls the heel and Randy's complete eyeball that was pulled off tightly, shaking it off without trailing her stiletto heel, and asks to put him behind with the rest emphasizing that war is war while Randy begs for aid. A lovely blonde woman awakens from a coma with a mouth barrier on her neck and calls another woman with one on the other side of the river, but she ignores her and keeps going. Others come to her attention, and a suspicious crate that a man approaches and prepares to open despite alerts to open from another man. All participants watch as the box opens and a wild boar triumphantly emerges. Curiosity is increasing again, and with a tiny tug, a lethal weapons rack with knives and machine guns is revealed. Due to survival instinct, the group approaches, and the lady finds a key to the mouth barriers and frees her and the others as they load and distribute firearms. A distant sniper strikes precisely, cracking the woman's head and splashing blood. As he went on, a man witnessed another man die and addressed another woman in terror. The woman flees, but falls into a trap with iron bars that puncture her. He pulls her while she's bleeding, runs off with her, and explodes with her together on a mine. The woman who flies with half a body to the pit again requests for another man to shoot her, who hesitates but does it herself. The hunt proceeds to a high fence, where two more men join in. Afterwards, three guys cross the barrier, and the fourth gets an arrow and runs off while shooting a frenzy that gets additional arrows and collapses. A grenade arrives to finish the job. The three survivors flee to a convenience store at a petrol station and attack the shopkeepers. The man panics and calls the police after learning they are in Arkansas, reporting the awful hunt. He tries to explain that they were kidnapped from different places and still try to kill them while the cop gets a location on the phone and says aid is coming. After that, one of the men collapses after eating a toxic cookie, and the woman behind the counter, who has already worn a mask, sends a terrible cyanide bomb on one victim, and the other one is defused by the man with an evil fast shot. In his final moments, the victim discovers that he was murdered for revenge in a horrible Facebook post. After cleaning the arena, they hide the dead in the shop warehouse and go on to the next victim. The woman notifies the manager of the contact, who has killed three more, and receives praise and an alert for Snowball's arrival at the station shop. Crystal, the Snowball, enters the station convenience store with skepticism and a gloomy countenance, but the psychotic man and lady offer assistance with a smile. Crystal requests a box of cigarettes and gets matches, as well as more love. The location question resurfaces. The male is a little confused, but the woman boldly mentions Arkansas with a great smile. Suddenly, Crystal hits the woman, grabs the weapon behind the counter, and shoots a man at point-blank range, reminding the woman that smokes in Arkansas costs $6 and that the bitch messed up, then shoots her as she screams. Crystal takes off with the bullets and radio, suspiciously gazing about. She spots a booby-trapped car and waits, while the opposite side notices the radio already with her. Another man intercepts a drowned who has come to check on Crystal, and after a scary acquaintance with Crystal, he joins her on the railway, where they finally board a moving train and gasp for relief. A refugee family is unexpectedly found in the car, and the man doesn't buy the charade. They surrender when an unfamiliar army stops the train. The man insists that this is a trap for the army, but the refugee knows English and says they didn't buy the stuff from him. Assuring the man that the train wasn't intended to halt and the army wasn't part of the plan, he will give him an advantage before seeking him again. In wrath, the man puts a live grenade deep into the fake refugee's trousers, and while everyone runs, the refugee explodes into small pieces. Crystal guesses where she is being reassembled in front of two investigating officials at the military camp and discovers she is in Croatia. Crystal is surprised to learn that another big man named Don is in the same situation as her when she is asked about the hunt. A Mercedes vehicle carrying the U.S. flag for the embassy appears with a close driver, and the soldiers release them after a brief conversation. While driving, the driver rattles and questions why they were chosen for the hunt, suggesting there is a reason. Crystal throws the driver out of the car during a drive and then drives over his brain under the tires to make sure of his final death. Don accuses Crystal of murder, but she opens the trunk and finds a body and a secret map, closing Don's mouth with wonder. Don is denied the driver's keys and forced to listen to a childhood example she loves. The tortoise-rabbit parable evokes a smile until Crystal says that the rabbit he lost comes to avenge blood revenge on the turtle and his family after the turtle wins. He arrives at dinner time, crushes the wife and children to watch them die, kills the tortoise, and eats their dinner until the last crumb. Crystal arrives with Don at the arena's remote management location on the map. After a diversion, she enters and starts to kill every wicked soul with satisfaction. A few lethal strokes, and she easily defeats the security consultant in another fierce contact battle. Don enters with a gun from the other side, but the anonymous principal's simple query concerning Crystal's assassination reveals his true face. After further falsehoods, Crystal terminates Don and is invited by the anonymous executive to catch her. In a quick talk with the security consultant, Crystal, furious, reveals she works for a vehicle rental firm in a gray routine, and maybe today will be her lucky day. After she presses on his wounds and mockingly apologizes, she receives the principal's whereabouts. He warns him about her strengths, and then she shoots him. Reversing a year earlier, Athena, the Hunt Center organizer, received a scathing message regarding the leak and dissemination of the initial message and accepted the group's boss's dismissal despite the case. It shows that all members of the Hunt's executive group team have disembarked after the case and have prepared how to take revenge, including in a snowball Crystal. Back to present, Crystal arrives at the estate gate and is obliged to put the pistol in the mailbox. Athena tells her she could have blown her up at the front door much earlier, but that would be no fun. Crystal is asked about Athena's identity in her kitchen, but she doesn't know. Athena tells her about her supposed life resume. Athena speaks of Crystal's insulting internet comments, saying that the SMS message was a joke and she didn't seek individuals out for sport hunting. Crystal forces her to face the painful reality and explains that the facts don't lie, which she disputes. Athena accuses Crystal of believing in this reality and creating it for them. Athena is shocked to learn that they kidnapped the wrong woman and that she is not the right Crystal but a different woman she knows and receives her mail from. Her father has never used drugs, and her mother is alive and offers to call her, but Athena refuses. In the kitchen, while Beethoven plays, the two ladies fight and pound each other with anything in sight. Athena grabs a shotgun and tries to hit Crystal with it during the conflict, but Crystal escapes. The act continues as they fly through a large glass window to hoard air and fight the hole. Athena carefully grabbed a tapered metal skewer and a sharper blender head, punctured Crystal in the back, and slid the blender head into her overloaded stomach. Crystal recovers from what Athena said was her final hit, and she removes the knife in severe pain. Athena kicks the Crystal non-stop until Crystal ties her to her, pulls her tightly, and stabs her with the sharp blender head she stabbed her with a minute before. Dying, Athena realizes Crystal's error was reading Animal Farm, from which she was nicknamed Snowball, and she is not as foolish as she assumed. Athena, dying, asks one last time about Crystal's true identity, understands her fatal error, and her vicious soul goes quiet. Crystal recovers and enjoys good food, a luxurious outfit, and those stiletto heels that were used for a wicked and still bloodstained purpose. She goes out with $1 million look and a bottle of champagne. Crystal returns to Athena's private plane in the closing scene, telling the startled crew that the assholes they were working for were trying to kill her, so she killed them instead. Crystal unexpectedly invites the flight attendant to the meal and generously offers caviar. The flight attendant sits down and is intrigued by the victory drink she foreshadows as she drinks from the bottle in excess vulgarity and declares it is great. The Hunt is a riveting thriller that captivates from start to finish. Its unique premise, blending suspense, action, and dark humor, offers a fresh take on the survival genre. The ensemble cast, led by standout performances, brings authenticity to well-developed characters. The relentless pacing, coupled with expertly choreographed action, ensures an exhilarating viewing experience. Beyond entertainment, the film subtly addresses societal issues, adding depth to the narrative. Overall, The Hunt is a triumph in storytelling, delivering thrills and thought-provoking moments, making it a standout in the thriller genre. Highly recommended for those seeking a compelling cinematic experience. If you enjoyed this recap from Recap Revelations, be sure to subscribe for a continuous stream of similar videos. Your support means the world to us, so don't forget to leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks a million for tuning in.